What's up, y'all? We are here for our weekly energy oracle forecast. Just taking a look at the week ahead to see what kind of spiritual weather we will be living and being in. And I have a little update. So you guys have heard me mention that I'm like kind of cooking up a scheme in the background. And I am... So basically a couple of, like maybe about a month ago, somebody had thrown out, like a couple of people had thrown out a couple of ideas, all at once, and they weren't really things that went with this channel, but they weren't bad ideas. They weren't necessarily things that I wasn't interested in, but they just weren't like, it just would not really be the right content for here. So they were like, well, you know, could you like do unboxing for like cards, or, you know, do like behind the scenes, or like talk about, you know, like show us crystals, or, you know, basically like stuff like that. And then also kind of paralleled around the same time, I was hearing about like the TikTok affiliator creator program, and I have been trying to figure out a way to use like all of my like content making skills, all of my former television production skills, my writing skills, all of that, to do something freelancing in the digital marketing world. But my issue with it was always like, I don't want to have to like chase after clients that I don't really want. I don't want to be constantly like on these onboarding calls and like discovery calls and like trying to track down clients. But I like making content, and I can do that pretty efficiently. And so I was people have been telling me about user-generated content, but I just hadn't really taken it in. It hadn't struck me, you know. And then I found out that like people are doing really well at it. And I'd looked into like Amazon, like Fulfilled by Amazon before, and it just was too like complicated, and there was just so much heavy lifting involved. But the TikTok thing isn't quite so complex. It's like if you already have the muscles and the endurance and the consistency and the routine going for content creation, this seems like it could be a natural fit. So I had a TikTok account a while back, like for about a year, and somebody asked me recently why I didn't make shorts for this channel anymore. And so for like a year, I was making shorts for TikTok that were also, they were reading, so I was sharing them on my YouTube channel. Well, what happened was it actually hurt my YouTube channel, because the people who watch shorts are not the same people that sit down for longer videos or even horizontal videos. It's like this whole different audience. So I was getting all these people that were following because of the shorts, but they weren't watching the videos. And even some of the people watching the videos stopped watching the videos because they were just getting a quick hit with the shorts. And so it started lowering my viewership on my actual videos that were like the more important like teachings. And people were just getting high off of like these short videos that were really more like a little bit more casual readings. They weren't as like deep in the teachings and all that. So it really wasn't helping my channel grow. At the time, I still thought it was possible to get like monetized and make money off of ad revenue, which is like pennies. It's nothing. You have to like millions of views on every video. And it didn't used to be that way. It used to be like you could have like a decent sized audience and have like, you know, make a livable wage or whatever. So I was like, okay, I'm spending literally every free second of my day trying to get this video done for TikTok. And the TikTok videos were doing okay, but it wasn't like, I didn't have any real strategy. It wasn't being used for anything. I didn't know how to monetize it. And not that it's all about monetization, but if you guys have followed me for any amount of time, you know, this is time consuming, and I work full time, and I do this as almost like a full-time job, and I don't have a lot of time left, and I need to make more money. And so there's got to be some way to do this. So I thought for a moment, well, I want to continue making deeper content. Maybe, you know, I've been hearing all of this stuff about Substack and Patreon. So I thought maybe that would be a route and a way to go. And so I've spent most of the year trying to build these platforms out that are kind of complicated to use. Substack is weird and it's difficult to use. Patreon is more straightforward, but I have gotten zero growth. And I've posted every day, like all of my public content that is on all other platforms. Like I don't post the same thing on every platform. So I started putting all of those posts in one place for the free content to see if I could grow that. And then I would start a paid publication. I have one subscriber, you guys. Thank you, Motor City. It wasn't like a paid subscriber, but he's been supportive of my Substack. But I mean, like, even my nephew followed me on Substack, and he like does not participate at all. Like he's even a creator and he knows how it works, and he probably just doesn't see my stuff. You know what I mean? I'm just like, wow, this feels like I am putting all of my energy into things that are just not giving me anything in return. And that's not always what it's about, but you get to a certain point where you just start to get very tired. And so then I come to a point where people are like, why don't you do unboxing videos? Why don't you do this and that? And I'm like, you know what? Why don't I just do the user-generated content for TikTok? TikTok can be the platform where I'm not focused on a subject. I just get to be free to be myself. I can shoot the breeze, talk about whatever I want off the top of my head. And I'm already a person that if I find a product that I like that solves a problem for me and it works really well, I will tell everyone about it. And people bring up like, oh, I have a problem with like my hair falling out, or I have this, or my joints are hurting, or like my skin, I need this. And I'm like, oh, I know exactly what you need here. And I tell them about it. And I'm always trying to get people the answers they're looking for and the solutions. So I'm like, okay, I already know how to make content. I'm already trying to figure out a way to find a career in marketing when marketing is being replaced by AI. It's just like every single thing as millennials, everything that we've ever spent time learning and trying to do, it's over by the time you get your ducks in a row. So I'm just like, fuck, I can't do this any longer. So I was just like, you know what? I've got nothing to lose. So I joined one of these groups that's like directly partnered with TikTok. And they coach you, they educate you, they get you better commissions and things. So I'm going to see how that goes, and I'm excited about it because it's just something that I can do. It's going to be fun. I already like to do things like that, so that will be where if I do like talk about decks or wellness things or beauty, skincare, anything that I love, cooking, gardening, anything that I can find that I can share there and make it entertaining and mix it up. Like that's what I'm going to be doing on TikTok. So my username on TikTok, if you guys want to go follow me there, if you're curious about whatever I'm doing, is Elizabeth Rose Loves. So it's like, these are things that I love. And the whole thing is just based on, oh, I love this, I love that. So yeah, the first 21 videos are kind of awkward because they were given to me by this agency, and TikTok gave them this protocol, and they were like, starting a fresh account, you need to do these specific videos so we know that you're not AI generated or whatever. But once I get 1,000 followers there, then I can join the affiliate program for creators. So that's what I've been working on. It's been really successful for a lot of people, and so I don't see why not. And so yeah, that's what I've been doing. That's what I'm working on. That's what I'm going to give a try. So that's what's sort of putting my Substack work on pause for the moment, and Patreon, because no one is signing up for the paid subscription thing anyway. So that's going to be, that's still going to be coming because I'm passionate about that. It's the ultimate reason I want to do any of this is so I have more time to go deeper into the study and go deeper into the teachings. But we gotta make that bread, right? So if you guys sometimes you want to peek into my world, into my life, follow me on TikTok, and that'll be where that is happening. All right. So, sorry, that was like a 10-minute rant. All right. I just had a lot to explain and a lot to catch up on. All right. So we have hope. I love it. First card out. We've got some hope stirring for the week, some transformation and metamorphosis happening. I can certainly feel that. And I was telling you guys that I had a dinner with my siblings and my dad, and that, felt like it moved some density, and I just felt like there was a lot of hope on the horizon for even unrelated things coming. So I'm excited. I feel empowered. So remember, we're in this eclipse portal. So the more of that, those hard feelings and those fears and judgments and all of that, the more that we can shed, the more empowered we will be. And the more that this eclipse can slingshot us into momentum and growth and success, rather than spend the next 6 months shedding and changing and letting go and all of that. Sorrow has been coming up a lot for the last couple of weeks in my own personal readings. And it's interesting because I don't feel any fresh sorrow. So I feel like we are becoming aware of things that have been hanging over our head. What sorrow have you been carrying around? What has been weighing you down? What are the things that kind of keep you in a state of that's keeping you feeling disempowered and keeping you from feeling hopeful? What has got you down? This is a time to notice that. And what is that sorrow telling you? What are you sad about? When I feel sorrow, it feels like regret that was out of your hands. When I think of sorrow, I think of a kind of sadness about feeling sad about something that wasn't what it could have been. I feel sorrow that I didn't have the kind of relationship with my dad that I witness other people having, right? I feel sorrow, over things like that. So what is it? What does that tell you? Is that old sorrow that you're ready to sort of let go of and clean house and let a fresh breeze blow through and open the curtains? Sitting Shiva is over. We have mourned what did not happen. We have mourned what has come and gone. We're mourning the end of this period, of this cycle, of this difficult stage, and we're ready for new things to come. But when we've been used to things being the certain way for so long, it's almost difficult to move on, even when it feels like growth. One of the things that has really inspired me to jump into that TikTok affiliate program is that there's this cottage that I used to live in close by. It's about 5 minutes away from my house now. And it's not along the woods like that my house is now. I do love this place, and it is nestled along the park, which I love. But I did love this cottage, and it was devastating when I had to leave this cottage. And I noticed recently that it was up for sale. And I thought, man, I believe in miracles. And it's unlikely that I could buy this cottage. But I hear stories all the time about things suddenly changing and people coming into a windfall. And, I thought, will I be sadder if I try to make the money and buy this cottage and it gets sold out from under me to someone else? Or will I feel sorrow if I blow it off like it's impossible and I never try to buy the place? Because what happened back then was it was around 2010, between 2010 and 2015 is when I lived in that house. And over at that time, it was before I was full-time freelancing in film production. And I worked at a restaurant at the time then, and things were a lot more affordable. You could buy houses for almost the cost of a nice car in around these parts, and flip that house or fix it up and renovate it or whatever. And I wanted to buy a house back then. I felt like I believed in myself, but the people around me, my family, scared me out of it. They didn't think that I could handle the responsibility. They didn't have the foresight that I had. I knew that house would be worth something, even if it wasn't worth anything. I knew that even tearing that house down and selling the property in downtown Nashville in Davidson County would be worth something. And I got basically steamrolled down, and somebody disempowered me with their negativity, with their fear. And I abandoned myself by listening to their fear. And I still have sorrow that I never pushed myself out of my comfort zone or beyond what other people thought I was capable of and just took a chance. That is the greater sorrow. So when I examine that sorrow and I feel it, it's not enough to just say, oh, I'm so sad that I never did that. But when you unpack it, when you're like, okay, would I be sadder if I didn't try? What was this? Why am I so sad that I lost something, or that I didn't make an effort, that I didn't take the risk, right? I often say, and this is very true about myself, I don't have a lot of regrets. I usually only regret the things that I did not do, and I regret the things that I did not buy. There are treasures that I've seen throughout my life around the world, vintage clothing pieces, things here and there that I thought, oh, it's impractical, I shouldn't. And I was cheap with myself, and I never forgot about those treasures. It sounds petty, it sounds materialistic, but I'm a very heavy Venus. I've got a lot of Venus in my chart. So things that are beautiful, interesting objects that I connect with, they really leave a lasting impression, and they give me a lot of joy too. And so, yeah, what are the regrets? What's the sorrow that you're carrying around, right? You know, it might be like, for me, I felt like I have recently realized that I've mourned the relationship that me and my dad have never had. And I can be at peace with the fact that I'm probably never going to have the relationship that I imagined that other people have with him. You know, that's projecting something that doesn't exist onto someone. It's not fair. It doesn't meet him where he's at. It doesn't see him for who he really is, right? So I think having realized all of those things and observed them with truth and clarity and honesty, it's really helping to not just push the emotions under the rug or, you know, throw them out with the trash, but actually to go through them and to feel them and to process them and to digest them in a productive way where they're not hanging over us anymore, right? And I think that that's what this card is telling us. It's like, hey, we are in a new chapter and there's so much joy to be had, and this is a moment that can be very empowering for us. So don't let these sort of black sorrow roses scare you out of feeling the feelings, because you're not going to get dragged into the quagmire again. You're stronger now. You won't let yourself go into that pit and stay there. But we do have to be able to feel something vividly and honestly for it to really be able to pass through us, or else it kind of clings on because we're not listening, right? So listen to that sorrow, listen to your feelings. And listen intently, but let it pass through. Don't get caught up in the depression, the anger, the soap opera. All right. And, passion. Okay, so many great things are about to begin that we really don't want a wet blanket to ruin it. And it's not, and that wet blanket, it's like something we should just deal with. It's not something that we should throw away. I don't want to deal with this. I'm bored with this story. But because it's going to keep coming back. It's going to keep clinging on. Everything is connected. You see this connection, it's all connected. So this is actually bottlenecking the blessings. See, it's all connected. Our thoughts our heart, our breath, all of it, it's all connected. And so that sorrow, even though it doesn't feel like it's connected to maybe this thing that's bringing you new hope that you're really passionate about, it's still affecting it because it affects everything that you're perceiving. It's like it's contaminated the whole filtration system. So what we need to do is we need to deal with this, right? It's like the laundry. The laundry doesn't go away. It just keeps piling up, right? And then once we get that laundry mountain folded, we have to stay on top of laundry. Right? If we let it go for a couple of days, it piles up again and it's overwhelming. So we need to stay on top of this sorrow like laundry, right? And let it pass through so that we clear our vessel so that all of the good things that are trying to be channeled through are going to be able to come in. In one of my Kabbalah lessons that I was listening to or watching over my days off, Michael Berg was saying that one of the most powerful things that you can do during the month of Teshuvah is to read the 27th Psalm every day. It will strengthen our certainty. And the certainty isn't that we're sure that everything's going to work out, right? I had a level of certainty when I decided to spend the money and join this TikTok group. And the certainty was this. I wasn't sure it was going to work out. I wasn't sure that it wasn't just another thing that people are like dangling a shiny carrot in front of you, making you promises they can't follow through with. I wasn't sure it wasn't one of those, but I wasn't sure it wasn't either. But what I was sure about was that I had nothing to lose and that I would pay that money and that God would make sure that that didn't hurt me, that I was trying to do my best and follow the guidance that I was being given the best I could. And I trusted that I was going to take that leap and that things would work out somehow. And that even if this thing turned out to be a dead end, I'd be fine. I have failed at everything I've ever tried before in a way. And I have no shame and no humiliation around that. I mean, I do a little bit, I guess, but I'm used to it by now. It's like if you've posted for almost 10 years and had literally almost zero interaction and participation with people, and you're just still publicly putting your work out there, it doesn't get any more embarrassing than that, right? So I was invincible. So I'm like, okay, well, what am I going to do? Fail? Big whoop. Try something harder to stop me, right? And so my certainty is that, you know what? God has some plan for me. This may or may not be it, but I'm going to land on 2 feet either way, and I'm going to give this a shot. And if it happens, great. If it doesn't, I my whole life isn't staked on it. My self-worth doesn't hang in the balance here. I'll get over it, right? Things will be okay. It's all good. And so that's what certainty looks like. It looks like being good either way, right? I'm not going to be beaten down by life, nor any more than I'm going to be exalted into delusions of grandeur by life. That's when you can stay solid on the inside, solid not to be pulled one way or the other or turned to this thing or that. You're genuinely authentic. You are a sustained vibration of yourself. You trust the Creator. You trust God. Your life is not made or broken in any moment. You are going to continue on and things will find their way. The universe is self-correcting. God will send me help. I don't know how the situation can be turned around for the good, but I know that it's possible because we can activate the Spirit of God within anything, right? So meet this moment with passion. Don't be afraid to feel that sorrow and examine it. And I think that if you really give yourself permission to feel it, it doesn't cling on so hard. I've told this story before, but my late best friend, Trace, when he was alive, there was this guy that I was so torn up over. And looking back now, I realized that it was just classic narcissistic abuse, but I didn't know how to identify that at the time. I didn't know anything about narcissism. I was just like, oh, wow, this guy is such a sparkling, shining, unique individual. What a treasure. So he, was being a narcissist, like not caring about me, love bombing and then disappearing, getting the attention, disappearing. And I was just like, I had it. And then he had like started dating somebody. And so it was just like, I was just trying to move on and get over it. And it was just like, it was so hard to shake this disappointment that he wasn't like going to be anything for me. And it was carrying a real dark cloud. I was carrying a cloud around about it. And it was really bringing me down. And I remember my friend Trace said, Trix, he would call me Trixie. Trix, what's it going to take for you to wash that man out of your hair? He was like, how hard do you need to cry? If you gave yourself like as much time as you needed to really get pathetic about this and just cry it out and be as upset as you can about it, how long do you think you need? And get it all out of your system. And I was like, I don't know, maybe like 2 days, 2.5 days. And then I started thinking about it. And I'm like, could I really work myself up into grief for like 48 hours over this? And then it kind of put it into perspective. And I think that's one thing that helped me like let it go and not cling to it. I had this image once that came to me when we continue after this person like that doesn't want anything to do with us, or if they've moved on and we keep obsessing and ruminating and clinging. It's like we're dancing with a dead body. Like, I don't know if you guys in your literature classes in school growing up, if you ever read the short story A Rose for Emily, or if you remember in an Interview with the Vampire when Tom Cruise like picks up that old grandmother that like Kirsten Dunst had been clinging to, the corpse, and he's like dancing around the room with her. But that's the image I was given when like I couldn't let this guy go. Or like another one that I knew for that matter. It was like I was clinging to this thing that wasn't reciprocal. When I thought about dragging a dead corpse around and romantically dancing with this dead body, it's like this person is having this romance with this unanimated corpse. You're like, oh, it's so grotesque. It's sickening. You're like, oh, I'm repulsed. I can't continue on. So yes, letting go of the sorrow. We can't keep carrying around the sorrow. We can't keep dancing with this dead body. We got to cry it out and let it go, because we've got a lot of great things happening. We have hope, and we have a lot of power that we need to take the reins and direct. We need to direct all this passion and this energy and this excitement into focused action. All right, you guys, that is all for tonight. I hope that you guys enjoyed getting that little personal update. I'm sorry for those of you who have zero interest in me at all. And yeah, we will be back together tomorrow for our weekly anchor message, and that will be giving us our spiritual lessons for the week. And by the way, I just want to take a minute to thank all the people that are the consistent commenters. I do have more participation on YouTube than I do on other platforms, but even on YouTube, it's been pretty quiet for all these years. But I usually do at least have a couple of people at a time that are consistent, and they give me feedback and they comment, and it's so appreciated. Like, you really have no idea how instrumental your comments have been at times where I was just ready to give up and quit. So I appreciate that. It makes it feel like something is like it's worthwhile, and that someone is getting something positive out of it. So yeah, if you're curious about my TikTok, if you're not, don't worry about it. Like, the thing is, if people follow me on platforms and they don't participate, then it makes it worse. And that's basically what's also happened with my TikTok, Patreon and Substack. The people who know me followed, and they don't participate at all with my posts. One person even told me that they had been opening like every post that I put on Patreon, but they've never liked one once. So I'm like literally at this point, I'm just like, okay, I'm never going to tell anyone I'm doing anything ever again. And just hopefully strangers find me for organic reasons. Because the people who know me, it's like they're making it worse. They're like, I'll follow you. And then like they'll just like scroll past my posts. Like they don't know how the internet works. It's okay. No hard feelings. I'll just keep supporting your work. All right, you all. That is all for tonight. I am starving. I'm overheated. It has been so hot here. Oh my gosh, so hot that we're all like lightheaded and dehydrated. Oh my god. All right. See you tomorrow.